Hello and welcome all. And before I start with my routine of talking about something special, I want to wish you all a very, very happy Diwali. Let these lights brighten your life and hopefully, with a little tips from me, brighten your skin and you radiate with the light from within. So here's me, Dr. Amit Dakshini, talking to you about facial oils. A very interesting topic as usual, and many of my patients have requested me to speak about this, so I'm going to start. I hope you have a lot of questions to ask me because this is something that we are revisiting from our past. We used to use a lot of oil, especially we Indians, and somewhere down the line, we started avoiding it, for our reasons. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how these oils can actually give us youthful, healthy skin. It might be too much and there might be too many oils that I cover today, but I hope that you get a little bit of understanding in facial oils and then probably we can go further. So facial oils can be divided into two varieties, the animal oil and plant derived oil. I'm going to only talk about the plant derived oil because that's what we use now in our cosmetic and dermatology industry. Yeah. Now, which are these plant oils that we use? If you look at the plant oils, there are again two types of oils that we have. One are the fixed oils and second are the essential oils. Now, what is the difference between the two? Essential oils are basically volatile. So, at room temperature, they vaporize. It's very well used in the aromatherapy and in the aroma industry, where we use it in perfumes and detergents. We use it in soap bars as well as a lot of beverages and many other medicinal uses too. The other are the fixed oils. Now these fixed oils are the ones we generally use in cosmetic industry. Which are these? Right starting from coconut oil to the current rage of tea tree oil. I'm going to talk about each of them basis the skin type, right? So today first let's begin with which of these oils are antibacterial and which can be used by acne prone skin. Yes, acne skin can use oils. These oils will actually help reduce inflammation, reduce irritation, get their skin texture and tone back, and most importantly, act as antibacterial too. Which are these commonly? You have the safflower oil, you have the sunflower oil, you have the primrose oil, which contain an ingredient called linoleic acid. Linoleic acid is an extremely good balancer of our skin. It's normally present in the sebum or the oil that is secreted by our skin cells. Now, this linoleic acid reduces in cases of acne or in cases that are prone to developing acne. So, for these cases, we use linoleic acid or creams and oils that contain linoleic acid. Please look for it whenever you're picking up for acne. The second interesting thing is coconut oil. But remember, it's the cold pressed extra virgin version which acts as a beautiful antibacterial. It reduces the acne forming bacteria which collect on the skin and thus it helps in reducing acne. No wonder when we had irritation and itching on our skin or even some boils, our ancestors would ask us to use coconut oil. Now this coconut oil is an antiseptic and an antibacterial and it is known and proven. So don't forget to include that in case you develop acne or you develop even boils like say post-waxing. You develop those red or pus-filled boils post-waxing. Remember to put extra virgin cold pressed coconut oil and remember it will settle. The other ingredient in most of these oils is something called squalene. Squalane. An extremely wonderful moisturizer for the skin which is naturally present in our body. Now as we start aging, especially post 25-30, the amount of squalene starts reducing exponentially in our skin and in women, somewhere around menopause, it is extremely low, and which is why you notice a lot of dryness and wrinkling of the skin, not just the face, but even the body. And this is when you need to start using something that contains squalene to just get back that few things that we miss because of aging. Now for dry skin, what oils should we use? Because all these oils actually can be used for dry skin, but there are four best oils according to me that is for dry skin. One, of course, is our coconut oil. The second is borage oil. Now, the advantage of borage oil is that it forms a thin layer on the surface of our skin, which does not let external atmosphere absorb water from our body. So we call that transepidermal water loss. That is extremely reduced by borage oil. So creams and moisturizers containing borage oil or just pure borage oil for dry skin, for diabetic skin is extremely wonderful. The next really good oil is colloidal oat oil. Now, why do I say this? Is because oats are generally known to increase ceramide. So ceramide is very important to maintain the integrity of our skin cells. Otherwise, they kind of wither away like dried leaves. But ceramides bring them together. And colloidal oat oil actually gets all of it together. It sustains or makes them stay in line. And that's why oat oil or creams and moisturizers containing oat derivatives are really good. You have extremely good products in the market containing these. So there is one called X Omega, which is an extremely good moisturizer containing oat lipids for dry skin, like for diabetics or people with a little bit of skin changes due to aging or even scars which are present on the extremities. The next oil for dry skin is shea butter and aloe butter. These are derived naturally from plants, and the process of getting or distilling these oils is very interesting, and it does not lose its actual moisturizing ability. Shea butter, extremely good for very dry areas, for extremities, for lips, under the eye when you notice dryness and irritation. Shea butter and aloe butter, extremely good. Also can be used with patients with sensitive skin. So remember this. Again, lots of products available in the market. Remember, turn around your pack and check what is the ingredient and then pick up, even if you like the fragrance and the color of the product. The next is oils which are used as anti-inflammatory or in cases of itching. Now here, one of the best is chamomile oil. Products which contain chamomile oil, even in a less or least quantity, are extremely good anti-irritation or anti-itch oils. Even if you get a chamomile oil of aromatherapy, please keep it with you. In case there is a bug bite or there is a little allergy or sensitivity in your skin, mix chamomile just a few drops with your regular moisturizer and apply it on the skin. It will reduce itching within half an hour. So chamomile is an excellent product, so do use it. The next is jojoba oil. Now this is a wonderful oil because its use is not only limited to the body, but its use is also for the scalp. Any cases of dryness causing a lot of itching and scaling, like we see on the scalp. Many a time scaling on the scalp, we think it's dandruff, but actually it's not dandruff, it's just the dry scalp. Now jojoba oil and castor oil. These are the two oils that will reduce the scaling and inflammation, not just on your scalp, but also on the body. And castor oil, the beauty about castor oil is that it is extremely good for your eyebrows and eyelashes, especially to thicken them. With age, we all notice that all these areas, we start reducing the density of our hair. You notice that your eyebrows are looking lighter and you need to use a mascara for your eyelashes. Start using castor oil. Just apply it using a brush daily at night, just along like a mascara. you will notice within 3 to 6 months that the thickness of your eyebrows and your eyelashes will improve. So that is the wonder of castor oil. And then the latest, again, a new baby in the market. If you see, so many products on Amazon and Nykaa are full of rosehip oil. Now, what is this fantastic rosehip oil? Again, it's a variety of fixed plant oil which has been proven to reduce inflammation. So inflammation is normally present with any skin condition, be it dryness, be it itching, be it acne, be it even aging. So rosehip oil has again a variety of uses. I would prefer rosehip oil to be used as maintenance. It's not so much as a cure, but it can maintain your skin after you've found a good cure for the issue that you're looking for. So rosehip is the next oil to look for. Now, most of my patients like me are in my age group, and everybody is mostly wondering and want to do something about aging. And for anti-aging, the best oil according to me is avocado oil. In avocado oil, you have a combination of vitamin A, C, D and E. And the advantage here is that A helps in rejuvenating and producing more collagen. E acts as an antioxidant along with vitamin C, and D itself helps your skin. So it's a beautiful combination which we generally don't see in many oils. The only thing here to remember is avocado oil is not very stable. So if you're picking up a product, see to it that there are enough clinical trials done. Otherwise, the avocado is just a name. It won't solve any purpose because it may not be stable by the time it reaches you. So be careful on this. The other oil that is really interesting is the sesame oil. Now the sesame oil it's a wonder oil because you can use it even for pain reduction. Sesame oil massages, sesame oil is used for cold and cough and many such areas. Our ancestors used to use them, and with a reason. Sesame oil applied on an ant bite or a bug bite not only reduces the itching or redness, but also reduces the pain in that area. So it's a wonder drug. The other oil which I can't forget to mention is your vitamin E. Yeah, tocopherol acetate, which is available in multiple isotopes, but when present is an amazing antioxidant, not only on ingestion, but even topical application. And in combination with something like argan oil, it penetrates the skin very well. It nourishes and hydrates your skin, giving you that natural radiant look. So remember, vitamin E in your creams is just going to add to the benefit of what the cream is going to serve. So remember, a couple of oils which really help. For acne, you have your linoleic acid, so that is safflower oil and primrose oil. You have coconut oil. For your dry skin, colloidal oat, extremely good. Borage oil, very good. Anti-aging, you have your avocado, you have your rosehip, you have your vitamin E, of course coconut and castor oil, along with olive and almond oil. These oils just maintain the integrity and the smoothness or the texture of our skin. They do not lead to acne, especially if taken out the right way and used the right way. How do you use these oils? Most of the time, we use the oils directly on our face, taking a few drops of them. But many a times, you feel very oily or sticky. In that case, remember to mix a couple of drops in your sunscreen in the morning and in your night cream at night. Especially if you're using vitamin C serums, you can combine the two and apply it nicely on the face of your skin. Don't forget your neck. The neck is a part of your facial skin. So your face and your neck. I also recommend women who start aging over their dorsum of their hands, where you start noticing a lot of lines and wrinkles. Application of oil daily at night will prevent the skin from thinning out and your veins from getting visible. This is a very natural way of preventing aging, a natural way of keeping our skin more healthy. A quick note on the essential oils. The essential oils which I want to talk today about are three. Lemon oil, extremely good for acne prone skin. Second is the eucalyptus oil. Combination of lemon plus eucalyptus work beautifully again to reduce inflammation, to reduce the lines and wrinkles. Next, but not the least, is the tea tree oil. Again, like many other newer oils available in the market and people talking a lot about it, you have so many products, right from your face wash to your night cream and moisturizer containing tea tree oil. Now remember, tea tree is an essential oil, so it is a volatile oil, extremely difficult to control in a bottle. The second thing about tea tree oil is it does penetrate and disintegrate in plastic. So when companies claim and there's a lot of marketing that says tea tree oil is there in this cleanser and in this face wash, there's hardly anything that is actually there in that bottle except for the surfactant and the fragrance and the color. So be very wary before you pick up these essential oils by virtue of them being volatile at room temperature. Check out the brand, check out if they've done any clinical trials before they've launched the product in the market. Everything looks and sounds beautiful, and sometimes the claims are very high, but we need to dig a little deeper and check if they actually are what we are looking for, right? So these oils, please do check, please do figure out. The Indian market is full of them. Do your reading, check before you buy them. But when used and when you get the right oil, please stick to it, because it's going to give you a beautiful, radiant skin. And not only healthy skin, but it'll give you the natural glow that you're looking for. Thank you so much. Once again, happy Diwali, and I'll see you next Wednesday, where I'm going to talk about only antioxidants taken orally, as well as antioxidants applied on our skin. How do they help us and how do they work? So please do join me. Please do stay back and please do share this video, especially with people you think might need a little more understanding about facial oils and probably who will benefit through this. So thank you so much and see you soon. Bye-bye.